Alright, my camera says only 13 minutes. Let's see if we can do this. Doubtful. Hey, what's up, you guys? We are now here with the last of the batch of sets that I got on August 7th, which is 75139 Battle of Takodana, 409 pieces of Star Wars The Force Awakens. So, yeah, when this thing first came out, it was $60, and I'm like, $60 for a 109 set, lol, not gonna happen. So, finally it went on sale, and the main reason why I got this set is because I really liked the stuff that happened at Maz's castle, or Maz's, I can't quite remember if it's Maz or Maz. I'm pretty sure it's Maz, but whatever. And it also came with 2 figures that I wanted and some troops for some of our guys to go up against. So, whoa, I'm moving. Yeah, anyway. So, pretty cool. I kind of wish that Kylo Ren came with the head that his cloak, his hood would fit over. Hopefully he keeps that for episodes 8 and 9, and that might happen again to where he's got the helmet and the hood goes over. But if you've seen episode 7, then you know that it's entirely possible that the helmet has been lost. I'm not quite sure if that's necessarily a spoiler. I don't think it is, but you know, we never see him put it back on by the end of the movie. So, yeah, but I also, another reason why I got it, it's a location, and it's not just all gray, it's also got some other colors in it. So, pretty cool. So, there you go. Ooh, check it out. It's even listing all the different blasters and lightsabers that you get with this set. And some other things as well that can happen. So, looks like it could be fun. I'm pretty sure that it is, because I've seen reviews of it, so, you know, yeah, I'm way behind, but at least I saved about $15, so it went on sale not too long ago, and it might not be even available anymore. I'm not quite sure. So, anyway, we'll now open the box, we'll talk about what's inside, possibly, and then we'll get on with the rest of the review. That will end up taking longer than probably the space that's allowed on my camera. So, yay for warped instructions. Like, what gives, man? But whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's to be expected anymore, unless you've got a set that's like 900 or more pieces. If it's close to about 1,000 or higher, then most likely your instructions will come kind of not as good. However, I mean, at least they're not crushed. But anyway, I'm rambling. Only 2 stickers, not that bad. Again, another brick separator. Like, do we really need another one of these? I mean, I'm not even really seeing all that many plates, but again, like, they're still in the bags, of which there are 3. This one seems to have the one that has the cloth piece that looks like bacon, so that's pretty cool. And this one appears to have Maz, which I guess I'm gonna keep referring to her as Maz for however long, probably forever. I don't know why I'm saying Maz instead of Maz. I know that it's Maz, but I feel like Maz just seems to sound more natural to me. I'm not quite sure. So leave your hate mail in the comments. I don't know. So now let's finally review. Alright, my camera says only 13 minutes. Let's see if we can do this. Doubtful. Alright, so first thing to talk about are the minifigures. Here we've got your standard First Order Stormtrooper. I feel like there's a bit too much white on him. I kind of miss seeing the black hips and the black hands, but whatever. I understand the reasoning behind this. So, yeah. There you go. You got the angry face again. So, yeah. Similar to the old stormtroopers, you can't really turn their heads. You can turn their heads like that though, so that's nice actually. You can have them looking sideways, fairly well, and it doesn't push the helmet up. So that is a nice thing to have. So, and then here you go. You got TR-8R, or as he's officially named, like FN 1998 or something. It's some stupid thing. It's like, it's not even 1138. It's like he could have tried. But oh well. And he also has the super grumpy face. But he's also got a baton. So he's got that electro baton thing. I don't know. It's okay. So anyway, now we move on to Kylo Kylo Ren. And so here he is. The helmet is a bit big, I will say. That's why I really kind of want the one that has it printed on the minifigure head, and then you can put the cloak over. I keep calling it a cloak, it's a hood. You can put the hood over top of it. But one thing that is nice, though, is that his eyes do pretty much match up with where they should be on the helmet. So that is something nice to have. Like, these stormtroopers, there's no way that they're lined up. Clone troopers are never lined up. Darth Vader isn't even lined up anymore. Boba Fett's not lined up anymore. I mean, it's nice to at least have the eyes kind of line up with where they are on the minifigure head. So pretty good. He is two-faced, and he can wear the regular hair underneath, although at this point in the movie we still have not seen his face. At least I don't think we have. I don't know, I've only seen the movie twice and it's been a while. Leave your hate mail in the comments, I don't know. And I still don't own it, so yeah. Leave your hate mail in the comments, I don't know. I dig this cape being this nice cloth, not the hard type. So yeah. And not really a whole bunch of detail on him. I kind of like that. Most of the detail is actually on the helmet. Then we get to the lightsaber. And the lightsaber, when this was first seen in pictures, it was highly contested because people wanted the blades on the sides to be separate, because when you're animating this, you can't do the whole thing where he like shoots one out and then the two little side ones come out. No. Also, it's supposed to be more like that. We all get it. I feel like Lego made a smart move here. And also, it's still the same length as a 4-length blade. So, when you look at it like that, actually, older ones are slightly longer. But when you set it up against like this blue one, it is the exact same length. So you can just do a red one, and then you replace the red one in with that. You guys can calm down. Although, I do kind of wish that it was this trans neon orange, because trans neon orange kind of feels more like it would have matched up with what we saw in the movie a little better. Also, in the video game, you do see that he has a different hilt where the blades do come out from the side. My initial theory was that they were going to use a 3-length blade. That's a bit too long, so then you introduce like the 2-length blade or something that slides in between, and then that just becomes very cumbersome and really hard to mess with. So I can understand why LEGO did this, and I agree that it was the best decision to make. Next we move on to Finn. He's wearing that sweet jacket, and I don't know, I mean, again, not really much to talk about him. I'm not so invested with these characters yet, so we'll see how they move on in the future movies, but he also has a second expression. I do like this hairpiece. It's nice to have some very low curly hair on a minifigure. I'm very curious to see if this will ever come in any other color than black. Not that I need one, but, you know, in terms of populating, some people do have very, very curly hair, and when they just cut it short, it curls up anyway. So, and then we move on to my favorite, which is Maz Kanata. She is the best. I love that she is like 1,000 years old, and for all we know, she could live 1,000 more. So, but she looks absolutely fantastic. And it, you know, having a specific mold for the head, I'm okay with it. So yeah, pretty great. And I would love to see her become an integral part to any of the future movies. We don't know yet. I would like to see her come back as like, hey, we need some help from her because, you know, she's been around for 1,000 years. Like, she knows some things. So, but those are the minifigures. And now let's take a minute to talk about the extra pieces. A fair amount of them. I don't remember this ever being an extra piece before, but this little telescope piece. And again, brick separator. Why do we need a brick separator? Now, I do kind of understand because we're a bunch of plates involved with these steps, but anyway, so brick separator. So here we go. The castle itself. It is good. I like it. Mainly because it has a whole bunch of functions. See, there's something about these location sets that they do have a bunch of functions. We saw it in 2005 with the Ultimate Duel. We saw it in 2012, kinda, with Palpatine's Arrest. We saw it in 2013 with the Ewok Village. So, some of these location sets can actually be really involved. This one deals a lot with destruction because it's the Battle of Takodana. So we can remove these easily, and we can place them anywhere we want to. So that's cool. Pretty simple. They're nice looking. So yeah, we'll just put them off to the sides because they kind of obscure some things. We got our weird bacon cloth hanging out over here, but you know, it's just a nice little detail, that little representation of all the different flags that were shown hanging, or banners, I guess, that were outside of her castle. So now we move on to the functions. And one of the functions is you can do this, so you can change the angle of that. That's pretty awesome. Now we move on to the other side. There's a lot going on here, so we're just going to focus on this main section over here at the moment. But you got doors, they open and close. Pretty simple. Then you got this thing back here. You've got a pile of studs that are actually sitting right here to look like as if you had one of your stormtroopers shoot, and it actually did some pretty significant damage, and that happens. The one thing that's annoying about this is that, well, one, you've got a whole bunch of loose, tiny studs, and two, they have you do this pretty much at the beginning. So, like, you might accidentally hit the trigger in the back when you're building this and spill studs everywhere. What is nice about it, though, is that it's not like just a brick. It's a bunch of studs, and they're black, and it looks like burnt up stuff. And then, not that it's necessarily function, but it's a pain to talk about. We had the 2 stickers there. Can't get enough light, but there's a sticker. And that sticker was a pain to get on properly because for some reason I could not make it work. So now we'll move on to this section. So over here, kind of a bit of repeat going on, but still pretty decent. We have a tree, and it can fall over, and that's all due to a trigger right there that pushes it down. You can easily just go back and forth with it. Then you've also got this going on back here. Now, it never works the first time. You have to kind of do it more than once, because that will loosen up the friction just a bit on the pieces, so that you can just keep doing it over and over again, recreating the battle. But that neatly destroys some of the castle sides, because in the movie we see the entire thing just fall to the ground. So, pretty nice. And we got one last function. In here is absolutely nothing. It's where you're actually supposed to take the lightsaber and throw it in there. And you hide it for later. So, but that's the extra piece lightsaber. I'm not going to worry about that. But a lot of little details in here. The set is actually really cool. And I will agree with everybody that $60 for it was not worth it. Having all those play features does help make it worth more. And also the nice, just a very nice build. I enjoyed doing this more than just like apply more gray to gray to gray to gray. Like, we have some different types of pieces that I'm used to. We got these big slopey pieces. We got these masonry pieces. We've got arches. So we have a tree. I mean, that's not all too common in Star Wars, actually. So I will say that, I mean, for the price, especially now that it's on sale for $47 instead of $60, pick it up if you want it. And so I would say, like, we got this other wall. There could have been another one here. There could have been an interior, something. I don't know. We're also getting into a possibility of older fans that would want a bigger version of Maz's castle, and that's when you get into people my age that kind of grew up with the prequel stuff. That might be a chance for the Jedi Temple, for the Senate building, for certain things to finally be made, because the older fans now are the people that grew up with the prequels that like it, and that is where LEGO has made some of its decisions, to where more the bigger sets tend to be more based on the original trilogy. So maybe in 7 years or something like that, we could also end up seeing a bigger version of Maz's castle as we get into recreating sets. I don't know, this is a bit scattered. Well, I tried and I failed. Couldn't get everything in that I wanted to say. I don't know, I mean, we're basically done with the review, but I did want to end up talking about like one thing for a second about just the idea of this set. I do like what we have here. It's great because all the different functions, it does make the price a bit more understandable from a standpoint of like, well, I mean, you are getting all of this. It's not just like, yeah, you're paying a lot more for a thing that only has a few flick fire missiles. No, like, you've got a bunch of action of destroying things, and you've got a hidden compartment, and you've got opening doors. But the main thing that I think everybody seems to have a problem with is that there isn't another wall here. Like, there should be at least something else here. Or there needs to be an interior. Like, there needs to be just a little bit more. Maybe this needs to be a little taller. I don't know. I feel like there is potential for any remake of this set being similar to what was done with the Cantina, where the first one was in 2004, and it came with Greedo, Luke, Han, Chewie, and a Sand Trooper. That's all we ended up getting. Oh, and Obi-Wan. Then in, I think it was 2014, or it was 13, I don't know, it was recent, but then they ended up including 3 of the 4 members of the band that were in there, and I think they might have included the bartender. They then included Greedo, Han, Obi-Wan, Luke. I think the land speeder was in there as well. There was also another dewback. So imagine this being redone and you have more of an interior. Like, maybe keep this section, but then it expands out further into the back and you've got an interior. Or you've got a bigger set that's like Ewok Village, where it's called Maz's Castle. And you get like another section of like where you can destroy stuff, but you've also got an interior to mess around with. You can have a better version of the box that holds the lightsaber. Because while this is nice, I mean, it isn't necessarily accurate, but at the same time, I don't really need everything to be 100% accurate to be satisfied. So, but with with like a future version of that, kind of expanding on that idea of maybe even doing architecture type style sets for big locations that you can't possibly just incorporate into a single Lego set. And as I was saying before, where you've got people that are my age that kind of grew up with the prequels, being part of Star Wars and not just being outright shunned, that you could have maybe either architecture style type sets, because that is more geared toward an older demographic, so where you could make the Senate building, the Jedi Temple, the Geonosis Arena, the possibly the thing on Mustafar. You've got you could make something from the original trilogy. There isn't much, though. The original trilogy takes place inside a bunch, or out in the middle of space, where all there are ships to deal with, or you're dealing with the insides of ships. We don't spend a whole bunch of time seeing outside places or really big interiors of spaces either. So perhaps in some time we'll get another version of Maz's Castle, and you could get the giant spires and more walls. One thing that I'd also think that would almost benefit this set is maybe include some civilians that would have been on the inside, or one in particular would have been that red droid that is exiting as Rey and Finn are entering into the little courtyard area before they actually go inside. I feel like that would have been something neat to have. So, it's entirely possible, we don't know. But just some ideas to throw out there. And this is part of why I want to end up trying to make a more opinion-based show, which I will be making a video on, and see what you guys would like to hear about that. So, because I'm trying to keep these reviews contained to about as long as my camera would like to me to review, which is about 10 minutes. Try and stay within that. Maybe make an exception when it came to minifigures, but try not to ramble on and pitch all of these ideas out in this review, expanding it and making some of you guys bored or something. I don't know. So, anyway, this has been the review of 75139, the Battle of Takodana. It's on sale at the moment. I highly suggest that you jump on it while it is, because it's way better than what the original price was. See you guys. Leave your hate mail in the comments. I don't know.